Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make these bracelets which have fun sayings on them. This one says to be or not to be, and this one says I love you to the moon and back. I'm going to show you how to make the to be or not to be one, and of course you can then customize it however you like with names, a favorite quote, whatever you might find inspiring and want to wear. So these are really fun to make, and they're actually not that hard. So what you're going to be needing in terms of your supplies is you're going to need a bracelet blank. I have one right here. You can see it starts out completely flat. This is a 1/4 inch one, but they do come in various widths. And then you're going to need some patina, and that's going to be what you're going to put into the actual letters to make them pop. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to show you a quick tip for cleaning up any excess patina. You can see I've left a little bit here because I want to be able to show you how to remove that after the patina is dried. So those are the actual only supplies you need, but you are going to need a number of tools. So we need a bench block, a hammer, the Beadsmith Easy Bender tool. We need a punch set. This here is by Beadsmith. It is a Calligraphy Uppercase. You can use whatever set you like. And for those who are observing, we are missing a couple letters. This is our design space set, and you might have the same issue at home. Sometimes these letters go missing. So that's just the way that is. And then I've got the Beadsmith, this is a bracelet bending tool as well. It's gonna help with the little kinks that I'll talk about towards the end of the video here. Paper towels, and then a disposable paintbrush as well. Because there are a few supplies but more tools, it does mean that you can make these for pretty inexpensively once you've purchased the tool. So I know it's a little bit of an investment getting started, but once you've done that, since you only really need these two things, you can make lots and lots and lots of these bracelets, which is fun. All right, so enough intro. Let me show you actually how to do this. So we are gonna go ahead and we're gonna stamp the bracelet blank before we bend it. So that's important. Now, I'm going to be doing the to be or not to be. The main question whenever you're doing a saying is, where do you start on the blank? And it can be kind of tricky to figure out, and it's not really a precise science. The only tip I really have is try to figure out, just by looking at it, how much space each letter takes. So if you look at this punch set, and I'm sorry if this is information people already have, but it's something I do want to share because it's a challenge that I've always kind of struggled with. So you look at how big that letter is and you think, okay, so T-O for 2 would be about that big, and then space, and then B-E would be about that big, space, or space, not, space, T-O, space, B-E. Okay, so in theory, this is my saying is going to take up about this much space. Okay, so that means I got this much left. So half of this is about that. Okay, so then for where I need to start, I need to start right about here. I know that's not a precise science. If you're making a lot of these, once you make the first one, you'll be able to just tell how much space you need on each side. But for that first one, you do have to do a little bit of guesswork. So I want to start with my T right here. So I'm going to grab my T. And what's nice about this set by Beadsmith is they're all lined up, which is really great. So T. So here I want the lettering of the actual punch facing me. And I'm going to line up the edge of my punch with the edge of my blank. And I want this straight side to be completely straight and in line with the straight edge. So I don't want it like this. I want it like this. Got it? I'm holding it completely upright. Gonna take my hammer and try to do one nice clean hit. So we've got our T. And you can see it really doesn't stand out very much, but we're gonna go back and take care of that at the end. T, O. So now where do you put your next letter? What I like to recommend is you put it pretty close, so I'm just barely touching my last letter, but because there's a little bit of space between the letter and the actual edge of the punch, they should not touch each other when I actually do the punching. So again, I want this to be nice and straight against a straight line on my edge. I know my hand is blocking it from the camera a little bit, I apologize. So there's 2. And then B. So I'm going to do a little bit of a space between the letters because this is my space between my words. Biggest tip, just make sure, at least with this particular punch set, that all that Beadsmith wording is always facing you. That way you know your letter will be upright. All right, we've got our saying, and not too bad in terms of our estimate as to where that needed to be centered on the blank. So here we go, and now we need to go ahead and we need to really make that lettering pop. Of course, it's a personal preference. If you would rather not and you just like it like that, great. But I really want to show you how you can really highlight your saying. So we're going to use Vintaj Patina. And I'm going to pull over a little scrap piece of paper right here because I need something to put my patina on. I don't want it to seep through to my table. If you have a Post-it note or a little piece of plastic, that would work as well. So shake up the patina. Okay. So grab a paintbrush. And we are going to paint over the letters. And we're really kind of wanting to make sure we get into the grooves. And we want to go somewhat fast here. You don't want to really let it dry. Okay. Take a paper, take a paper towel, grip it, slide it off. Do it again. And really rub at it. So what you're doing is you're taking it off the surface, but it's staying in the recess of the lettering. Okay, and we did get a little bit of extra over here, but like I mentioned at the very end of the video, I'll show you how to go ahead and take care of that. My paintbrush away, we are done with it. Now there's no need to seal Vintaj Patina. It's made to use with metal. So it's a really great use for this. Okay, so now we need to bend it into a bracelet shape. To go ahead and do that, we're going to use the Easy Bender tool. We're going to put the end down into the well, and we're going to hold it, and we're going to bend it. We're going to go ahead, do the other side, flip it around, and bend it. So now we have a nice bracelet shape. Now, depending on how much stamping you do, and this is why I brought this over, sometimes the actual stamping process work hardens the metal in certain spots. So a spot that has been stamped will be a little bit harder and stiffer than a non-stamped part. If that is the case, you can take a tool such as this, and you can go ahead and smooth it out. I also really like doing that for the ends as well, just to curve it in a little bit more. So you see this end is now a little bit more curved. Now this one actually really ended up quite smooth to begin with, so I don't know if this tool was necessary, but I did want to show it to you because on these two, I did end up with a couple little spots that weren't quite as curved as I would have liked, and I did end up using this tool. So if that is something you run across, this is a good fix for that. Now another fix is, how do we get rid of the extra patina? Well, that's actually really easy and something you probably have on hand at home. It's nail polish remover. So I'm just going to take a paper towel and I'll clean up the piece we just did, because I think we ended up with, which one did I just do? Here, we ended up with some right there, so that should be pretty good to show cleaning up. Okay, I'm gonna do this off camera just because I don't want to spill on here, but basically you're just saturating the paper towel with some nail polish remover. Okay, so we've got our nail polish remover, and then we got our little bit of extra patina. So we just rub over it, and the nail polish remover will remove that extra patina. I would do it fairly quickly after you've made your bracelet. I would not necessarily let this dry for a week or two. I don't think it would really affect it, but you know what? Why risk it? So any place you just have a little bit of extra patina, just rub with the nail polish and you can see how it's coming off. One other quick tip I just want to share with you is that you don't always have to make your letters straight and even. So this is one look and it's beautiful. This is another look, and I know that this one is not for everyone, but this is a more casual design. And I purposefully made my lettering crooked, which was really fun and very relaxing. So basically what I did was some of the letters I lined up with the edge, and then others I actually rotated purposefully as I went. So you can see that they're facing a different direction, they're at a different angle. So that's just another idea if perhaps you've been wanting to do some metal punching and maybe a little intimidated by making straight lines or straight letters. This is a really fun, easy way of going about it. So just that little side note here before I sign off. So if you're interested in doing a project like this, you can find these bracelet blanks, the Easy Bender tool, the alphabet sets, and everything else you saw in this video and many more at Beadaholique.com.